Hi, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm on UCSD campus right now. I just got to eat my lunch. That building right there is called Club Med, even though the building itself says Medical Education and Telemedicine. It's Club Med in reference to where you can go get a bite to eat at. And before I walked in there, I said, let's see how often I hear gangstalking, weird, oh my god, or crazy being said around me in the environment while I was in the building. And it was said multiple times. I caught that on digital audio file. The reason why I decided to come out here and make this video, and excuse me, I'm smoking my after lunch cigarette. Hang on. Is because I want fellow Americans to understand something when it comes to this organized gang-stalking expedition that's happening towards me. I'm having what is known as a whiteout. I forgot the reason why I'm making this particular video. I'll think of it in a second, so I'm just going to keep talking until it comes back to mind. You know how it is. Anyways, I might as well just say this. You know what cracks me up about this expedition is that the clear audacity that these freaks have. Now, see this guy right here? Okay? This guy right here, look at his fingers. See how his finger's pointing by his cell phone? Okay? That's the reason why they do it. He talks to get my attention, my audio attention, so I hear him, and then I look up, and they got the finger pointing. And this is literally what happens, and this is literally how they operate in San Diego, California. Go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and finger pointing. Yeah, what they do is they cleverly get around you. They'll sit around you and do this or do this. Now these two are going to put their hands to their face. Watch. There we go. Okay. They either put their hands to their face. Now they're trying to sensitize me to hands moving. It's just, they try to sensitize targets to normal physical gestures. They're crazy weirdos. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that you would not believe the clear audacity that I experience over at this university, along with over at SDSU as well. I mean, these people not only engage in organized gang-stalking tactics, but they grin and laugh while they're doing it. Okay, and I'm talking about biomedical library staff, people they come in that use the computer, and they always have them sitting right in my line of sight, like at the computer terminals that are right in my line of sight. Like when I'm looking up at the computer monitor, I gotta look up. Well, they have them. It's called crafted seating arrangements and organized gang-stalking expeditions. And what they do is they make sure that they have individuals that are sitting in your line of sight, so you see them doing specific behaviors they sensitize you to. And actually, that's actually the theme of this video. Now, what is sensitization? This is how you can understand how targets feel stalked and harassed as a result of what they do when it comes to sensitization. And I'm going to give you an example so you can understand. Sensitization is all about creating associations in a target's mind. Okay? And once the association is formed, a physiological response and a mental response is experienced every time this target is subjected to the stimulation in reference to what they're sensitized to. In other words, the sensitization tactic is the stimulation, the stimuli. Now, what does that mean? Okay? Well, say you're, do you know how, like, like when you hear a certain song, okay, and you think about a first love, an old relationship, or your parents or brother or sister, a significant other, you know, whether it be a love partnership or just, you know, a member of your family, and you hear a song and you're automatically mentally brought back to a specific time when that song meant something, when it was literally associated to something. That's what you call mental association. And the song is the stimulation. It's the stimuli. In psychology terms, it's called stimuli. And what the stimuli is it's a trigger, whether it be a sound, a word, a phrase, a comment, a song, something you visually witness, whatever. Like the Vietnam vets or any Iraqi or Afghanistan veteran, a veteran of any war that's been in war, when they're experiencing these war battles, okay, in hot zones, okay, a lot of chaos is going on. You feel threatened as a result of you actually being in a war theater, a battle. Well, all the sounds that a person takes in that's in reference to what's going on around them while they're experiencing these life-threatening situations, like helicopters going by or guns going off. These are what you call visual and audio stimulations, okay, because you hear like the gun battle with your ears and the helicopter going above with your ears, you see it with your eyes. That becomes associated in the target's mind to a threat, okay, and that's the stimuli. The helicopter, the sounds of the guns going off, that's a stimuli. Then the veteran comes home from the war, he's walking around in American society, he's walking down the street, and all of a sudden a car backfires, and it's the same type of sound as a gun going off. That brings him mentally right back to the memory of when he was in battle, or if a helicopter goes over by. Okay, the helicopter is the stimuli that makes him remember the helicopters that were flying above him when he was in battle. That's the stimuli. Okay, what it is it basically forms a mental association in reference to the particular type of stimuli, and when the stimuli is presented, the body reacts to it because the body stored the original physiological response as it felt when the experience was happening. And organized gang-stalking expeditions are all about psychological operations and physiological operations. And so what they do is sensitize targets to specific types of verbal statements, phrases, words, or commentary. Those are called direct conversation tactics, and physical gestures, and that's called visual anchoring. And once they have these targets sensitized to these things, they constantly subject the target to it everywhere along all of the routes. Now, I've already made videos about how they're getting the cooperation of the community to do these things for them. Okay, this is about helping people understand about. See, like say if I'll give you an example. A girl, and this example can be found online. A girl was raped, and when she was raped, she had a sock stuffed in her mouth. A sock stuffed in her mouth as she was being raped. Then the people who raped her got along her path, along all of her paths, for the next 7 days after the rape, and threw socks along her path to remind her about it. Okay, as a result, the mind kept re-experiencing the rape, and the body kept re-experiencing all the physiological responses that it stored as she was being raped. This is what they do. They literally will form associations in a target's mind, okay, usually during a trauma, like either a rape or an assault or threats of one, okay, and then what they'll do is form associations why these traumatizations are taking place. Then they get along a target's path and repeat the stimuli that they associated to the event in order to keep the mind constantly reacting to it, the neural responses, the mental responses, and to keep the body constantly physiologically re-experiencing it. This in turn makes a target feel stalked because they got to know where you're at in order to do it. And it also makes them feel harassed. And it also keeps the target in a non-stop mental and neural loop of experiencing it, because everywhere a target goes, they experience it. I go into this library to sit down. They have people sitting at the computer literally holding their hands to their face like this, or going like this, or going like this with the finger. The finger is supposed to represent a penis, because they form the association in targets' minds that this is about human trafficking, usually after a rape. Okay, and then they'll use things that are called neurolinguistic programming and dark neurolinguistic programming to form associations in the target's mind based on the theme of what's verbally said, to make a target believe certain things, that these expeditions are being done for certain reasons. And then they get along that path and go like this. This is supposed to represent a penis, because it's all about keeping the mind occupied non-stop throughout the whole day concerning what a target is experiencing by them, in order to keep a target in a constant neural loop in reference to the responses, in reference to how they have to experience the non-stop repeated stimulation being presented in front of them. And this does nothing but wear a target out mentally. It keeps a target distracted from their own free thought processes, their own independent thinking, their own analytical processes, their own critical thinking, and it distracts them from even when it comes to a target, even trying to figure out what they're going to do in reference to how to deal with them, because they're literally bombarded every day with this stimulation along all of the routes. So before I went into that Club Med, I made a prediction, and my digital tape recorder that I wear attached to my bra, I said, let's see how much I hear gang stalking, because these are the direct conversation tactics, which is used for stimulation. There's physical gestures that are used for stimulation, then there's words, comments, and phrases, okay, and topics that a target is also sensitized to, that keeps them in a constant neural mental loop in reference to how many times the target hears it. So before I go in there, I say, let's see how often I hear, oh my God, weird, crazy, or gang stalker. Went in there, it was constantly repeated. Then when I get over in the library, where it's harder for people to say stuff like that because you got to be quiet in the library, that's where they'll subject me to the physical gestures, to keep me in a non-stop neural loop of mental responses as a result of me witnessing it. And this is how it operates. My name is Leslie Williams. This is in reference to organized gang-stalking sensitization tactics. And I make these videos in order to be able to help people understand the extreme criminality. This is harassment, okay? And since it's got malice aforethought with criminal intent behind it, it's a felony, okay? Also, aiding and abetting is a felony too, because of the cooperation in reference to how they're getting people in the community to do it. It's also stalking, felony stalking, because they're putting these people along a target's route. Just because they're putting different people along a target's route, it's conspiracy to stalk. Okay, and when a police officer does it, it's all these crimes that I've already just stated to you under the color of authority, which is a felony to the extreme. You would not believe what I know and what I'm subjected to on a daily basis. I got to stop this video. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm at UCSD, and I experienced this type of sensitization harassment every single time I come here on their bus routes. I take their bus route to get here. I experience it from people on the bus and by bus drivers. I experience it at Old Town Trolley Station on my trolley routes, bus routes. And then you got the electronic harassment, which is nothing but a non-stop computer-to-brain feedback loop, where they're doing the same thing, just using a computer and remote neural monitoring to basically monitor a target neurally from a remote distance, and then the computer will pick out dialogue that's harassing in reference to the theme of what's read from the computer, from the target's brain, and then it will spit back out through V2K, which is voice to skull, harassing dialogue to transmit back to the target based on the theme of what the computer is reading in reference to the remote neural monitoring. And a target is literally subjected to non-stop harassment. Then when a target goes to sleep, they experience the artificial dreams they create and transmit into the target's audio and video cortex. So basically what I'm telling you is that they do nothing but literally harass and torture a victim of these crimes non-stop, 24/7, every single day, 24/7, because when they're awake, they experience the sensitization, and when they're sleeping, they experience the artificial dreams. I gotta go. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and this is UCSD, where I experience these tactics every single day I come here, and on my routes to here.